Hi, I'm Samantha Cooper, and this is my case study. Category 1. What do I know? I know that Miss Rose is a new assistant principal at John F. Kennedy School. She recently took a class over school community relations. Therefore, she came up with a lot of new great ideas. However, the principal is not a big believer in building relations with parents because it's something that has happened in the past and has failed. There is no PTO or PTA, and the parent community involvement at the school is very low. Therefore, Mrs. Rose wants to get the parents and community involved. Mrs. Rose finally got the principal to approve of a meeting for the parent involvement. However, only 8 showed up, so that was disappointing, and they were trying to figure out if they should continue on with the meeting or not. What do I need to know? What has the principal done in the past to try and build parent-community relations involvement? Why is the principal against PTA and PTOs? What is the school's way of communicating to the parents, students, and community? Do they use newsletters, websites, etc.? Why is the parent involvement in their community so low? How can we get parents involved in the school? And what are the demographics of the community? Because that can make a huge difference knowing the size of the town or the city. The problem we are dealing with is there is a lack of parent involvement in the school, and that needs to change. The principal has lost desire to get parents and community involved, and there is no parent-teacher organization or association. Category 2. My plan of action is to follow through with the meeting that the case ended on. There was 8 parents there, and make sure to make it the best that it can be. In my opinion, 8 parents is better than no parents. I also want to make a plan of action to fix the communication issues between the school and the parents. I want to build better relationships with the community and parents. For example, have the community businesses get involved by donating to the school or hosting events for us. I also want to get the parents and community involved in the school by starting parent organizations. The strategies I would use to make sure that this plan of action goes through is having a meeting with the principal to discuss the plan of action would be the first step. I would then communicate with the teachers on what their opinions would be, because they could have some good ideas. I would then have the parents take a survey of questions that would help strengthen the communication and relations between the school and the parents. This survey would consist of questions that would help me know what is the best way to contact them and what would get them interested in the school. For example, what times would they be able to attend the meetings? What events would they like to be involved in our school? And what is the best way to reach you? Phone call, email, newsletter, etc. I also would then use the information from the survey to figure out the best way to contact and communicate with the parents and community. I would also use the information for knowing what will interest the parents. I would like to make sure to have every source of communication going on through email, school website, social media accounts, phone calls, newspaper, etc. Finally, I would make sure to build and sustain relationships with the parents and the community, like standard 4.3 and 4.4 suggest. Category 3. What is the best for the students? I think it's important to make sure that everyone is on the same page at the school and that the parents and school have a relation. We need to figure out why there's not much community or parent involvement in the school and how to change it. We need to get help from the parents who are already willing to be involved. We need to make sure to build relationships between the school and parents in order to come together for the students. For example, have consistent meetings or ways to communicate with the parents and community. And when relations are in place, then there will be more opportunities and events for students to get involved in the community, like the Standard 4. My resolution to the problem is we know that Mrs. Rose wants to fix the parent involvement in the school because the principal does not care to try and start up a parent organization again. Mrs. Rose finally convinces the principal to let her have one meeting with the parents. However, only 8 shows up. But we need to use those 8 parents that showed up to the meeting to help figure out their opinions and views on the school. We need to find the best ways to communicate with the parents and community in order to get them to be a part of the school system through social media, newsletters, emails, events, etc. Category 4. What were you thinking, feeling, and valuing as you respond to this question? The very first thing that I thought of was I found it was hard to believe that there was no too little parent involvement in the school. I think it was frustrating to see how the principal felt about parent organizations. I felt like I wanted to do what was best for the students because that's always the first priority, and that means getting the parents and community involved in the school. I thought this issue was something we could fix easily with proper communication and effort with the parents and community, and I tried to use my own school's experience to help me out with this issue. The issues that are still unresolved or need further investigation would be what happened in the past with the principal and the parent organizations. Because he mentioned he used to have the same attitude Mrs. Rose did, and now he just seems to be against it. And so something had to happen. I want to know, will the plan of action and strategies work in order to get the parents and the community involved? And finally, I really want to know what the community demographics are and what the community atmosphere is like, because that can make a big difference as well. Category 5. As a building level administrator, how did I collaborate with families and community members to contribute to the school's success? Like I've mentioned throughout this presentation, I made sure to communicate in all the ways possible through social media, website, newsletters, phone calls, etc. to the parents in the community. I had us follow through with the meeting with the 8 parents, and I had the parents take a survey that helped contribute to the school's success at communicating with the parents and communities. How did you as a building level administrator respond to the diverse needs and interests of the community on an ongoing basis? Well, I made sure to have multiple different ways for parents and the community to communicate with our school, or our school communicate with them. Like I've said, through social media, newsletters, phone calls, etc. I also responded to diverse needs and interests of the community by having a survey for all the parents to take that would help our school know how to better communicate with them or how we would interest them in our school. This way we can meet everyone's diverse needs. And finally, how did you as a building level administrator mobilize community resources to address and help solve problems in a way that supports the school? I asked the community members and business owners to get involved in our school by hosting events or donating to our school. I also made sure to use the community's communication networks to advertise our school. For example, the newspaper. I just think it is extremely important to keep relations between the school, the parents, and community, and that was my mission.